So, happy Monday, everyone. This is going to be a quick motivational video that I just wanted to get out of the way, and then I'm going to come back with an organizing video. So, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be talking about the difference between devotion and abuse, because I feel like oftentimes we get these things confused. We, as people of all genders, we experience it. Women definitely are susceptible to confusing these two concepts in romantic relationships, but it also happens in families. It happens in um, uneven, one-sided friendships. It probably happens like within business spaces and within like the workplace with weird dynamics that some people have with their boss or with perhaps like a coworker who's supposedly a friend or a frenemy. It can happen in just about any type of relationship in which the direction in which benefits are flowing in that relationship and also the power dynamic are off. So, why did I think of this? I mean, I've seen it a lot in my life with friends, with family. I I've probably confused the two. I don't know. I'm gonna err on the safe side and say that I probably have, like, at some point confused the two. Just in like growing up and learning about relationships, but fortunately, I'm not perfect. But I don't know. There were like certain red flags. Now I've ignored my share of red flags in my day thus far. Hopefully, I'm um I'm more inclined to trust my discernment because over time I've learned that it's generally right. And I would urge other people who have observed the same about themselves to begin to trust their judgment and their discernment if it's been proven right in the past. Um, but also get wise counsel. Don't only rely on your own understanding. Anyway, that was kind of a segue. So the way manipulators operate, because people who blur those lines for you, rest assured they are doing it intentionally, typically. Um, and they tend to be manipulators. You're probably not the only person they're doing this to. And if they're able to do it to you successfully, it means they've had practice usually. So the way devotion and abuse become confused and obscured in relationships is typically the person who is on the receiving end of the bad treatment. Um, I don't know, is looking for like a strong relationship, a connection. They want to feel like they belong or like they've bonded with someone, but in a very strong way. Everyone has those desires. Most people have those desires. Um, to feel connected and bonded with other people. But for those of us who have experienced abandonment, for those of us, some people may have been abused in the past, some people may be coming out of a hurtful situation, and they just want to connect with someone else or they miss feeling connected with another person. Um, it also can happen as a result of inexperience. Like I just said, like I have probably confused the two just in growing up and learning about human behavior and relationships. And it's easy if you don't know any better to think that a person's extreme behavior is out of care and concern or a desire to be connected with you. And unfortunately, manipulators are able to take advantage of that. And so we have to be wise and we have to be able to discern the difference. And we have to, this part is very important. We have to not get discouraged. When you discern or suspect that a person may be behaving abusively or trying to manipulate you, separate yourself from that situation and from that person, most likely. It's probably going to be the best thing to do. But don't get discouraged. That one experience does not dictate your future experiences with people. In fact, your ability to recognize when someone is taking advantage of you better equips you to have healthy relationships. You won't waste your time with people who are trying to use you, people who want to hurt you, people who want something from you. Instead, you will take on a different posture. You'll carry yourself differently. You'll go into relationships differently. You'll meet people differently, and you'll give off a different vibe, and you will attract people who mean you well. And that leads me to another point. So if you're a person who is dedicated to making a dead end relationship work, oftentimes people in that situation, especially people who have a pattern of those types of situations, feel like they only attract the wrong people, when in fact, you may have the right people around you, but you're pushing them away because you insist on investing in these bad dead end situations. And most of us have been there, where we've seen friends or family members, they reject sound advice. They don't want to hear anything. They just want to do what they do. They separate themselves from you, or maybe you decide to back off and leave them be, which isn't entirely wrong necessarily. But when you assume that posture of trying to hold on to what is not good for you, you push away things that are good for you, things that are better for you, like what you really want. You're pushing it away because you insist on holding on to something that's toxic. And healthy people don't want to surround themselves with toxicity. So the good people who are in your life and who are trying to be in your life will take a step back. So bear that in mind as you think about letting go of that bad situation. You're letting go of something bad, but you're making space for something good. And you have to keep that discernment and that drive and that perseverance and that dedication to being healthy and surrounding yourself with healthy things, and be patient. And those good relationships will come. Those good friendships, those good connections, that better job, all that stuff will come because you will outgrow your current situation in which you're confusing a person's abusive behavior, a person's manipulation, a person's mistreatment, a person's selfishness, a person's getting loud and yelling and belittling you for devotion and passion. And maybe they're just like a strong personality. That's what you're thinking. When really it's abuse, and you're being abused, and you need to get out of that situation, back away, and find yourself some healthy people to be around. And believe me, speaking as a healthy person, if you can come to terms with that and go looking for good relationships, we will welcome you with open arms, because a person who is empathetic and healthy and feels for other people doesn't want to see you in these situations. Now, be careful, because abusers in the beginning will also quote unquote welcome you with open arms, but that's just to rope you in. And that's why you have to take your time and feel people out and see what they're about and judge a tree by its fruit, and not give yourself over and not force yourself into these situations that ultimately don't work for you. So on that note, I'm going to end this video, keeping it short. If you like this content, definitely follow me, subscribe, request more of it, ask questions, engage in the comments, whatever, however. So I will see you in the next video, which is actually going to be on organizing, because I'm about to do it right now. Until then, take care and be well. Bye now.